You're here for Social Media Marketing Made Simple. What social media is all about, why should you use it, what channels should you be using, and then what do you say on social media. This event is hosted by the Countess Group. We are a marketing and communications consultancy based in the Orlando area, and we're authorized experts for Constant Contact, Master Certified by Constant Contact. There are very few of us out of the population of over 10,000 companies that represent Constant Contact. We're one of very few that are Master Certified. And in addition, we're Microsoft sales specialists as well. By the way, I want to make a note for you. You'll see a lot of information coming across the screen over the next 45 minutes or so. And I wanted to let you know that we will be providing you with a link to everything that you see on screen. And so you don't have to take furious notes, but you may want to take down a few things as we go through them. This is a social media webinar, so as you can see, we're quite active on multiple social media channels. We're most active on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. You'll see several posts most every day on those channels. We've got quite a few webinars that are pre-recorded that you can view a replay on our YouTube channel. And we're active also on Google+, Pinterest, Instagram, and a few others as well. So I've mentioned Constant Contact. We're also Microsoft partners and Google partners as well. I'm sure you've heard of each one of those. If there's a question that you have about how to use any or all of them, please feel free to reach out to us at any time. Not only are we Constant Contact Master Certified, but we got recognition over the last couple of weeks that we're one of Constant Contact's all-star solution providers as well. So we're delighted to have been honored by that recognition. The Countess Group is a full-service marketing consultancy. And by that I mean we can help you with strategic marketing and communications. As you can imagine, we're experts in the area of email marketing as well, social media marketing. We can develop websites for you, handle your public relations activity, and more. In terms of background and credentials, I spent over 20 years at a company called Motorola. I'm sure you've heard of it. And a couple of years at companies like Marriott, a company that's now part of Caremark. I was a senior partner at a company called Ascend Marketing. That's a company that now has 40 people in the firm, and I was one of the senior partners there during about a 5-year stint. And over the last 15 years or so, we've been consultants to companies and organizations such as those that you see on screen. But honestly, it numbers scores of small to medium-sized businesses and nonprofits just like yours. And so, you know, having spent 25-plus years in corporate America and then a good number of years as a consultant, starting out as a sole practitioner, I totally understand what it's like trying to run a business on your own. There's just so many hours in the day, right? And so it's hard to not only run your business, but also do the marketing, do the billing, collections, and everything else. And so with only 24 hours in a day, it's hard to find the time to do all of these other things. And so you're in the right place. You're here to learn about how social media and other tools can benefit you, hopefully so that you'll be able to spend more time enjoying life. And that's really what it's all about. I encourage you to stick around for the entire webinar. I've got 3 really great offers that I'll be talking about at the end of the event. These all are available just for a limited time. So please be sure you stick around because they have a limited time offer, or they are limited time offers. So why is it that we're here today? Well, of course, it's because you know that social media marketing is so important to your business and nonprofit, but it's also confusing. It can be overwhelming. There are a lot of social networks out there. There are hundreds, literally hundreds of them. So you may not consider yourself a marketing expert, but now you have to know how to use all of these tools. And you may not be comfortable using social media. It all looks and feels so new. And guess what? We're all still figuring this out because social media marketing literally changes every day. And so it's okay to be confused and overwhelmed. Sometimes it feels like you're drinking the ocean with this stuff. But we're here to help. You're certainly in the right place today. I wanted to share this with you. This chart is something that was just recently updated. You'll find it on Shareaholic, and it's about how social media traffic drives business, drives visits to websites. And this is a look year over year from the end of 2013 to the end of 2014. And what you can see here is that Facebook drives more traffic to websites than all other social media combined. In fact, the number may be interesting to you. Check this out. As much as 25% of web traffic is driven by Facebook. Again, more than all other social media combined. Second is Pinterest. Pinterest drives more traffic to websites than all other social media combined, of course, with the exception of Facebook. And then all the other ones, as important as they are, they're pretty much in the noise level at this point. But that is clearly subject to change. So if you're wondering about social media, you really aren't the only one who needs help. I hear from people like you and me every single day. Small businesses and nonprofits who want to stand out from the pack and get more fans and followers and spread the word about what they do on social media. In fact, recent surveys that have been done show that you're really not alone in all of this, that as many as 54% of small businesses and 57% of nonprofits say, I need help with social media marketing. And if you have concerns, you're not alone there either. Because many people will say, you know, social media marketing really looks interesting, but I'll never have millions of fans. Or using new inbound marketing tools sounds really great, but I don't even know what I would talk about on social media. Or paying close attention to what's being said on social media sounds really useful, but I'll never have a dedicated staff to do it right. Or I hear about these new tools and networks every day, but I just don't have the time to stay current. Does any of this sound familiar to you? I suspect that it does. So I want to ask you a quick question. We're going to present a quick poll for you, and here it is. Now it looks like it hasn't presented itself. Let's do it this way. Okay, so here's the poll. Are you currently using social media for your business or a nonprofit? Go ahead and take a moment and let me know what your thoughts are. So we've got about 3/4 have voted so far. We'll wait for another few of you. Okay, so let me share the results with you. Here's what you said. About 3/4 of you on the webinar are currently using social media for your business or nonprofit, and that's really awesome. That's really, really great. Because let me share with you what the situation is with social media. And it looks something like this. About 7 years ago, only 10% of businesses and nonprofits were using social media marketing. Only 10%. And yet, just at the end of last year, look at how it's grown. Now, 80%, looks like we lost the screen here. So here we go. About 88% of small businesses and social media small businesses and nonprofits are using social media. That is a dramatic increase. In 6 years, the use of social media marketing has grown from 10% to 88%. And why is that? It's because social media works. You know, we're all small businesses and nonprofits, and quite frankly, we simply just don't have the time to do things that don't work. And the fact is that social media marketing is incredibly powerful. The good news is that you can do this because what you have is so powerful. Loyal, happy customers or supporters if you're a nonprofit. You likely deliver an excellent customer experience, and you truly have interesting and important things to say. So here's what we're going to cover over the next half hour. Why should you use social media? What are the top 5 social networks? What do I say? And then how do you get started today? Well, I want to start by helping you or others in your organization understand why a small business or nonprofit should be using social media. Now, this is usually not a good reason for doing something because everybody else is. But in this case, your colleagues and competitors are marketing with social media. 93% of nonprofits are using social media today. And the numbers are pretty similar for business-to-business organizations and B2C. And so what that means is that if you're not doing some kind of social media marketing for your organization, you're not in the places where your customers are. This is where they are. The people who are doing it, your competitors, have a big advantage if you are not using social media because they're reaching more people with their message. And the social media impact on your business or your organization is huge. It drives people to your door. It influences purchasing. 74% of shoppers rely on social networks to guide purchase decisions. Social media basically has made it easier for people to buy from you. 2 out of 10 Facebook users have made a purchase by clicking on ads or comments, and they tell your friends about you. 55%, more than half of us, share information about purchases on social media. And it influences people's connections to nonprofits. 68% of people will go online and learn more about the charities and causes that their friends support when they post about it on social media. And these referrals are very important to your business. 71% of consumers are more likely to purchase a product based on social media referrals. Every day, people are going online to review or recommend the businesses and nonprofits they support, and people in their networks trust those referrals because they know the people who write them. Or if they don't, they trust unbiased reviews from people just like them. And this influence happens on social media because of audience engagement. Now, we used to tell people stuff over the backyard fence, but now we tell everyone, our family, our friends, our colleagues, our clients, even our BFFs through social media channels. And it's less about spending all your time and money and energy finding new customers and much more about fully engaging your existing happy customers and making it easy for them to tell others. And these changes have leveled the playing field for smaller organizations like yours in order to compete with the big boys. The point I'm making here is that social media is the new word of mouth. Social media helps to kickstart that word-of-mouth marketing. Because your messages have the chance to be amplified and shared, social media marketing will bring you new customers and donors or supporters or volunteers if you're a nonprofit, bring you repeat business from your current customers, and referrals from your happy customers. So is this starting to make sense? why social media really is so important? It's really a part of the entire business, isn't it? Social media and the social visibility that it gives you and how your business and customers engage with each other make up what we call the engagement marketing cycle. So I've been talking about who's using social media and how it drives behavior. And now let's think about an experience you provide through your interactions with customers or supporters and where social media really fits in. If you want social media to work for you, you have to create a wow experience. And think about all the ways you interact with your customers or supporters. What's something you can do for them that's valuable? It doesn't have to be anything huge or expensive. A wow experience can be something small and meaningful, like, for example, the way you process a credit card could be normal, but the way you wrap the purchase could be the wow. And another very simple way to rise above the ordinary can be in the way you greet them at the door. And if you work with other businesses, consider how you present proposals or project updates. Are you thinking about the perception of you as a professional, that when you leave, when you invest the time and care into the report's presentation? If you're a nonprofit, that wow could be the way you show supporters how you carry out your mission by using photos to illustrate the story. And again, you don't need to go to extremes or way over the top. You do, however, need to help your business think about the spots where you're going to do something that really creates a connection. And that's what it's all about, creating a connection. And what those connections do is present a window of opportunity. It's an opportunity to ask them to stay connected with you, which brings me to the next step in the cycle. The reason you want to create a wow opportunity is to get their attention, create a connection, and then ask them to stay in touch with you. Leverage that wow moment. Ask them to connect with you, like you on Facebook, for example, because they know that you'll then engage them with content and other items of value to them, and then engage with them online. And as they interact with you, social media allows that engagement to be visible online. It's seen by their networks, and that helps to introduce you to a whole new group of people who will become your next customers or supporters. And that's called social visibility. And that really shows the power of social media. So what I want you to take away from this, the engagement marketing cycle, is that social visibility enhanced by technology enables you to connect with your customers, get leads, or grow supporters. So create that wow experience. Make the connection. Encourage your customers or supporters to continue that experience with you by following you on social media, and then keep that cycle going. So now that I've laid out why you should be considering social media as a part of your marketing mix, let's jump into a quick reveal of the top 5 social networks. Now, these are what I would collectively refer to as the top 5 social networks. And there's a pretty good chance that you're using, or at least considering using, at least one of these. So I'm going to ask a question of you in another poll. Let's go ahead and launch this one. So here's the question. Which of these do you use most often? Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, or Google+? I'll take a moment and see what your votes are. So we've got a little over half of you so far. Waiting for a couple more. This is a pretty surprising result. Check this out. About 3/4 are using Facebook, and only about 1/4 are using LinkedIn, and nobody else on this webinar is using any of the other 3. So that's pretty interesting data, I would think. It's a little bit different than some of the other events that we've done. So what I'm going to do is take a quick walk through each one of these and quickly tell you what each one is good for, who's using it, and it's not going to be an in-depth analysis of each channel, but certainly given that most everybody on this webinar is using the first two that you see there, Facebook and LinkedIn, well, we may spend another extra few minutes on Twitter, Pinterest, and Google+. So again, it's not going to be an in-depth analysis of each channel or a thorough how-to for each one, but I want to give you a feel for how they differ and how you might be able to leverage them to your benefit. So Facebook is the largest, of course. It's got nearly 2 billion users. And the audience is really all, it's business to business, business to consumer, and nonprofit. And these are people looking for useful, interesting, informative content. LinkedIn, used by many of you, it's primarily B2B. And people use it to look for industry news and tips and solutions. It's not the LinkedIn of several years ago where people were using it primarily to look for a job. Twitter is an interesting social network. It's evolving almost daily. It's got over 300 million users currently. And the primary audience is young adults from late teens through their 40s, but you'll find a bit of everyone on Twitter today. In fact, the largest growing age demographic is people aged 55 to 64. That group has registered an increase of nearly 80% in the last year. People join Twitter to find out about the latest news and information, posts from brands and businesses, and to discover trends. And you may know that Twitter has a 140-character limit. That's all you're allowed to use in a Twitter post. That's also known as a tweet. And by the way, I'd recommend that you limit your posts to 120 characters, because if somebody retweets, shares your content with somebody else, if your tweet is that full 140 characters, the last part of your tweet may be truncated. So keep your tweets to 120 characters. Twitter's become a very popular tool for business-to-consumer organizations and nonprofits, but there are some B2Bs beginning to explore it too. So Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook, those are the more established social networks. They're the ones that people know best. They've been around for a while, and even if you haven't heard of them, or rather haven't used them, you've certainly heard of them. So now let's take a look at two of the newer kids on the block. The first is Pinterest. Pinterest has 70 million users. It's a social channel that relies very, very heavily on visuals. Now, Pinterest users create boards. Think of bulletin boards. And they pin images of things they like to them. And these images can link to anything, a recipe, a how-to video, a product you can purchase online, and they can take many forms of multimedia. Certainly you want to direct people to your website. So who's using Pinterest? Well, women make up the majority. It's a great tool for foodies to find recipes and crafters to organize and display projects or provide links to their products on Etsy. In fact, in the United States, 80% of Pinterest users are female, and their average household income is $100,000 plus. So that's a very attractive audience if you're in business of most any kind. And Pinterest users pin photos and video and graphics of the things they're interested in, not just products, but tips and useful information. It's best for how you can share products, how-to information or tips, and digital assets like ebooks. So you can link images to your website. It makes it easy for people to buy from you as soon as they see something they like on Pinterest. And a lot of people are now using Pinterest as a way to discover or research things they want to buy. In fact, 21% of Pinterest users have purchased something that they saw on Pinterest. And now Google Plus. Google Plus has over 500 million, that's billion with a B, users. Most of them are men, and its two biggest user groups are college students and software developers. But Google Plus's audience is growing to include other groups as well. In terms of what people are looking for, it's very similar to Facebook. You can share text updates and multimedia and links to your content created by others, and that's what users are looking for on Google Plus. But the reason to think about Google Plus is the fact that Google loves Google. So having a page on Google Plus gives you a leg up on your competitors who are not there yet. When someone searches on Google, Google is going back to look at its own resources first. So having a presence on Google Plus can help you get to the top of a Google search. So take that thought leadership, your original content, and make sure you share it through Google Plus to establish yourself as an expert. Businesses are still figuring out how to leverage Google Plus. There really isn't a dominant area yet. B2B, B2C, and nonprofits have all jumped in. And by the way, if you're looking for more information on these top 5 networks, I'd recommend you join me for our other classes. Among them is Social Media 102, which is called Your Social, Now What? And how to make social media work for you. So to recap, here's a chart of the social networks that I just talked about, and this is a brief overview. You'll get this chart when you receive today's worksheets and slides. So later on, sit down with this file and think about where you think your business or nonprofit could start on social media. So the next question becomes, well, what do I say on social media? And we could start with Facebook. It's the most popular of the social networks with over 1.7 billion users and many small businesses and nonprofits using it. This is a place that clearly you should be doing your social media campaigns. Now, I've got a rule of thumb I'll share with you that you can use across all the social channels, and we'll focus the comments on Facebook. The example you see will very much be Facebook-oriented. About 50% of the content posted on social media should be aimed at getting likes, shares, and comments. This means it needs to be entertaining and invite conversation. So asking questions, asking for opinions, using images and video, as well as being timely. Maybe there's an event or a holiday coming up. If you use Facebook this way, go ahead and raise your hand. Open up that control panel. Raise your hand and let me know if this is most of how you're using Facebook today. Go ahead and raise your hand if you're using Facebook mostly to generate likes and shares and comments. Great. About 30% of the time you should be using it to post industry information, hints and tips, and curate content. And then about 20% of the time you should have calls to action. Now, these are not buy now because people really don't want to be pitched all the time on social media. So about 50% of the content, again, that you post should be aimed at getting likes and shares and comments. And this means it needs to be entertaining and invite content. So asking questions, asking for opinions, using images and video, as well as being timely. You know, maybe there's a holiday or an event coming up. And about 30% of the time, your content should be useful or informative. Provide information about your industry that your customers will find interesting. Become known as a source of important information and tips, whether that's content from your own blog or from other blogs that you can trust. And then about 20% of the time, if you've done all the other stuff correctly, then you've earned the right for 20% of your content to be direct calls to action for your business. And this doesn't necessarily have to be buy now. Now, if you're completely stumped about what to say on social media or just social media in general, or if you have a day or a week where there's not a lot going on, then these questions can help you come up with some ideas. Perhaps what's new at your business or organization. Maybe you have a new product or service or a new employee. Think about what's different that your audience would be interested in. Think about some of the posts that I showed you. Think about success stories. Did you get a great email or a review from someone who was thrilled about how you helped them? Share it, or bring them in and have them do a video or testimonial about you. You can regularly post customer stories on your blog where they talk about how they used online marketing to solve a problem or achieve a goal. Or maybe you've been hearing the same questions over and over again. Maybe there's a topic there that people are bringing up a lot. Chances are that the people you haven't heard from have the same question or topic on their minds. So be proactive, answer questions with a brief explanation on Facebook or with a video, and say something like, we've been getting this question lately, and you might have the same issues. So here are a few tips to help. So how does this really work for a small organization? How can you create simple content that's effective and keeps fans engaged? Well, let's take a look at one example. Here we have Donna's Gourmet Cookies. And during the holidays, they posted a picture of some new cookies they were making. Now, notice the comment posted along with the picture. It says, yep, we have them. There's no complex marketing message here, no convoluted marketing speak, just a simple statement. And now look at the engagement that took place. 10 people liked the post, and 1 person shared the picture. There were people choosing to like the image, and 1 even deciding that she wanted to share it with her network. So let's follow that person who shared this content. Here's the post as it showed up on 1 person's Facebook feed. This is a fan who shared the picture with her network, adding her own endorsement of Donna's cookies. And it got results. 5 more people liked the post or picture. 4 people wrote comments, including this one. Where's Donna's located? Where a friend of the fan who shared this wants to know where Donna's is located so she can go buy some cookies. And this is someone who didn't know about Donna's cookies. She didn't know they made cookies that she liked. And now, thanks to the engagement between Donna's and its customers, the social visibility of that Facebook post that was shared is going to go there and become a customer herself. So remember that engagement marketing cycle and how you can engage your customers to gain word of mouth. Well, that's the power of engagement. And that's what happens when it leads to social visibility. So whenever you're trying to think about building new content, I want you to do this exercise that will help you with your creation process. And I'll pause here to walk you through. Think about the 50-30-20. What's something you could post for your business or nonprofit that will get you likes and comments and shares? Is it a fill-in-the-blank post? It could be about your industry. Remember a few of the examples that you saw. Or maybe you could share something about something with your followers that's useful or informative. There was one example. We had a statistic recently that shoppers spent $5.5 billion at small businesses on Small Business Saturday. If you're a nonprofit, think locally. How many hours have people volunteered this month? And finally, think about something you can post that's directly about your business. Do you have a new product? Are you holding an event? What's new and different today? What's something important that's coming up? Tell your followers that they're the first to know. And so now that I've shared with you why social media is important and how it's driving decisions, and I've given you an introduction to the big 5 social networks and how to think about what to say, now it's time to get started. And if you're just getting started, I recommend that you start Facebook. It's the most popular of the social channels. So because it's the most popular one, it means that your audience is already there. And it's really easy to get started. I've got 3 easy tips for you. The first is to create your page and know the difference between a page and a profile. A profile is your personal page. A page is where you get likes for your business. So there's a very distinct difference between them. And a page gives you analytics that you can't get on a personal profile. You can tell where people are coming from, the age range of people that are engaging with your content. You can tell what times of day that they're interacting with you most. And second, after your company page is set up, make sure you tell people that you're there. Use email marketing. I'm going to spend an extra couple of minutes on email because it is so vital to your success. Make sure that you post in your store or in your office that you're on social media. Post it on your website. Encourage people to follow you on social media. At every event that you hold, make sure that you let people know that you're on social media. That drives enhanced visibility. And don't be shy about putting it on your business cards as well. And then, now that you've told people about your page, it's time to start posting. And remember that 50-30-20 formula, where half of your posts should be conversational and entertaining for the purpose of getting likes and shares and comments. And 30% of your posts should provide value to your fans, where useful information is posted that can help them achieve success. And about 20% of the time, you can have posts about your business and inform your fans about what's new. And if you get stuck, remember the 3 questions that may provide you some content inspiration, like what's new at your business? What did you do recently to help someone achieve success? What advice have people been asking you for lately? Or just come right out and ask your audience, we're now on social media, what do you want to hear about from us on Facebook? People do business with other people. We all know this. So leverage that fact that you're a person and that you will definitely see a higher response from your engagement activity. And write in conversational copy. That means write just the way you speak. And include photos of yourself, people on your staff, even clients, customers, and pets. Make sure if it's about clients and customers that you have their permission. And once in a while, pull back the curtain a little bit. I'm running in a 5K, for example, or here's my dog at the park. And the next thing you can do is think about planning out your posts. You could take a look at a week at a time or a channel at a time. And so let's give it a shot with Facebook. This may be an example of how you might use Facebook throughout the course of Business Week, where on Monday, maybe it's a Monday motivational quote. And on Tuesday, maybe it's Tuesday trivia. On Wednesday, maybe it's a fill in the blank. On Thursday, having a sale this weekend. Or typically on Facebook today, it's Throwback Thursday, where you post something from your past. And on Friday, make it Fun Friday. Or maybe have a glass of wine and celebrate. And you'll get a blank version of that sheet as well in the copy of the material that you get right after this webinar. I want to share with you a couple of best practices. It's not necessary to sit by your computer waiting to punch the button to post. Use the marketing automation tools that are out there. One of our favorites is called Hootsuite. What Hootsuite allows you to do is to post on up to 50 different social media channels simultaneously. You can schedule them well in advance and set it and forget it. And one more important note, it's really, really important to tie your other social media activity to perhaps the oldest of the social media channels, and that's email marketing. Here's a study that was done recently by ExactTarget, who found that 77% of consumers prefer to be marketed to through email marketing. Now, think about that for a moment. When was the last time you checked your email? Did you check your email this week? Of course. Did you check your email today? I suspect many of you are checking your email during the course of this webinar. If you've checked your email today, go into that control panel and raise your hand. Let's see how many of you have actually checked your email today. Yeah, of course. It's virtually everybody's checking their email. And, you know, the data is that people check their email on average 15 times a day. Now, why and how? Well, email is so convenient. It's so pervasive. It's in your pocket. But you control your inbox. And you control your inbox in a way that you can't do on social media. Those social media feeds are running all day long. So I can send an email to you at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I know that at some point you'll check your inbox. But if I'm posting the same content at 8 o'clock in the morning on Facebook, and you've gone off to work, you're fighting traffic, you're at work all day long, and by the time you check your Facebook, it may be the end of the day, and the post that I may have put there early in the morning is way off the page. You may never know that I even posted anything on social. So it's really important for you to understand the power of social media marketing. Now, here's something else. In a recent Forbes magazine, it said that customer acquisition via email has more than quadrupled in the last 4 years. More than quadrupled in the last 4 years. And by the way, did I tell you that email marketing generates 40 times more revenue than Facebook and Twitter? 40 times more revenue using email marketing than Facebook and Twitter. And customers who come to businesses through email tend to shop more and spend more. So it becomes a very vital part of your marketing mix. In fact, email marketing has a return on investment. That's what ROI stands for. An ROI of 43 to 1, and that's just on average. And it's incredibly cost effective as well. It starts at only $20 a month. So you can send emails, an unlimited number of emails, to up to 500 people every single month for 20 bucks. I mean, that's less than what you would spend to take that individual, even one individual, out to lunch. And you could send to 500 people an unlimited number of emails over the course of a month for just $20. So the question is, would you invest $20 a month to grow your business with an average return of 43 to 1? I think, of course, you'd say the answer is yes. The good news is that you can do this. The key is just to keep it simple. In other classes, there's a webinar I'm doing next week, and you'll have access to sign up for it. It's a free webinar next week, next Thursday, where we'll talk specifically about email and how you can use that to grow your business. What I wanted to share with you is that if you have a Constant Contact account, there is a social campaigns feature in there, which is a great companion to your newsletter, your email marketing service. You can also run offers and promotions and tie them into social media. You can do events and registration. You could get feedback on what your customers are thinking, all from one dashboard. And that's your Constant Contact account. If you're not yet using Constant Contact, you can sign up for a completely free trial at trythetoolkit.com. That's www.trythetoolkit.com. And you can go ahead and sign up. No salespeople will call you. We actually will give you an hour of free help to help you get started. And you'll find it so easy to use, you'll wonder why you hadn't started using it before. In fact, I have a client who came to one of these events, waited about 6 months, started using email marketing for her business. In just 6 months, she generated $250,000 worth of new business. And the only place she advertised her services was on email marketing. She called me 6 months later so excited and said, I have no idea what I was waiting for. So I just put in the chat box a note. That's the URL that you can go to sign up all by yourself to get a new Constant Contact account. That's the trial version. If you'd like the paid version, it's toolkit.today, not .com. Toolkit.today. You can sign up, and I'll show you what those offers were that I referred to before we started the webinar. The first is, if you're on a current trial through the Countess Group, we'll provide you with a free, reusable email template that matches the look of your website if you convert to a paid subscription. And here's what that looks like. It really is pretty cool. Let me show you. Imagine this is your website where I have the red dot right now. With your logo at the top, here's your color palette and your content. We'll create an email template that matches the look of your website free of charge. Your logo, links to your website, same color palette, and we'll do that free of charge if you convert your account to a paid account or sign up today for a brand new account. So that's offer number one. Offer number two is if you subscribe today, you'll get 30% off your first 3 months of service with Constant Contact. Again, use that same URL. It's toolkit.today. I'll put it in the chat box, and you could just click the link when you're ready. It's www.toolkit.today. And if you use promo code 30March15, 30 March 15, that will automatically discount your new service by 30%. So that can save you up to $100 right away. And the third bonus is this one. If you subscribe today, same URL, we'll give you an hour of free coaching to help you get your first newsletter out. That may mean you're not sure how to upload your contact list. We'll help you do that. That may mean you're not sure how to set up the content to send out. We'll help you do that. Again, it's an hour of free coaching to help you get your first newsletter out the door. So in total, it's almost $550 worth of services completely free of charge. So you can use the links that I put in the chat box for you. You know, what we're trying to do here is make it really easy for you to enhance your marketing efforts and not break the bank doing it. There's free help. There are no contracts. You know, we try to make it very easy for you. And there's no risk. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee always. So if you're already using Constant Contact, and I've got a lot of people on this webinar who are already using it, you can join our VIP partner program. We already have over 1,400 members. It's free to join. There are no membership fees, and we will give you up to $2,000 worth of free services. No charge whatsoever. And the way to join our VIP program, if you haven't signed in under a different Constant Contact partner, send an email to us at that URL, at that email address that you see there, and just send an email to me that just says VIP in the header, and I'll know, of course, what that's about. And I'll reply with an email that tells you a little bit more about the program and how you go about signing up. So I've just put that email address in the chat box so you can copy and paste it there into an email if you like. Again, just use the subject VIP, and I'll respond quickly with an email that says, okay, thanks for your interest. Thanks for joining us on the webinar. Here's how you join the VIP Club. And if you join the VIP Club today, we'll give you a 30-minute free marketing consultation and a campaign And that's part of what you get being a VIP is they'll do your newsletters for you and give you some tips on best practices so you can get out of email marketing campaign. So I ask you, what are you waiting for? Really ought to start today. Get your business going. And while this is all still fresh in your mind about social media and email and how all of the social channels work together, social channels being email and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and Instagram, YouTube, plus and so on, get started with just one. If you're not using social media for your business or your nonprofit yet, start out with Facebook because that's where your audience is already. If you're B2B, LinkedIn may be the better one for you, but I hope you'll join us and become a VIP as well. You can join our email marketing list. You'll get access to our monthly newsletter, and be happy to supply that for you month after month. And let's see, what else do we have for you today? We can give you a link to our next webinars and seminars. We did about 140 different events last year, and I'll tell you that you can attend the same webinars, something with the same title, in 2 different weeks, and there'll be new content each time. We're constantly refreshing the content. So here's the URL, bit.ly/marketingclasses. You'll find that in the chat box as well. And if you go there, you'll see all of the upcoming classes live that are open to the public. Some are webinars and some are in the classroom. I'd encourage you to sign up for them and show up. And I guarantee you that you'll learn something new every time that you join us. So I want to thank you for joining me today. We're going to have time for a few questions. We'd be happy to field as many questions as time allows. If you have questions along the way, something you may think of after we close out the webinar for the day, feel free to give us a call at the number you see on the screen, or send an email to us at info@thecountessgroup.com. So here's what we covered. Why use social media? What are those top 5 social networks? I encourage you to just go do it. And join us for our upcoming webinars. Some final points. There's a lot of free help out there. You can go to the Constant Contact website. We have several websites. I encourage you to reach out to us, give us a call, send us an email, visit our website, see what we have to offer. We give a lot of free help, and people often ask, well, why do you give so much free help? And the answer is that if we give you free help and you like the service you get, the odds are pretty high that you'll refer people you know to us. And just absolutely love helping clients and potential clients and to enable you to get more out of your marketing efforts. So we do have time for questions for sure. I want to thank you again for joining me today. If you're in the Orlando area, or actually anywhere in Florida or around the country, if you need a speaker for an event, we'd be happy to come out to your location. Most of our events are done free of charge, and so reach out to us and let us know what your needs are, and let's see if we can get something on the calendar. I will tell you that we do get booked up many months in advance, but give us a buzz and let's see how we can help. Here again is our contact information. I'll leave this on the screen for a bit and entertain questions. So go ahead and use the question box, and I'll close by just asking you one more poll question, and here's that question. How many other webinars have you attended in the past year? Go ahead and click 1 to 3, or 4 to 6, or maybe even 7 more. Okay, so for many of you, This is one of maybe up to 3 webinars that you've attended in the recent year. I hope that you found this to be a helpful webinar for you, and I hope that you'll join us for future events as well. So thanks very much for joining me today, and I'll stand by and answer questions that come in over the next few minutes. Have a great day, everybody.